Enemies of God, Iran's crisis and global storm. In Iran tonight, a single phrase has shaken the very foundation of government and society. Enemies of God. They are a legal label with potentially the most serious consequences imaginable, even the death penalty. But this crisis has not stayed inside Iran's borders. Half a world away, the leader of the United States took to social media with a message that will echo in Tehran and Washington alike. Keep protesting. Help is on its way. Those words have stirred hope, fear, and global debate all at once. To understand what has brought Iran to this moment, we need to go back to late December. Then, frustration over daily life, rising prices, inflation, dwindling savings broke into open protest. What began with shopkeepers and market stalls in Tehran soon spread to streets from Mashhad to Isfahan. Men, women, students and workers poured into the squares demanding change. Demonstrations spread so quickly and widely that even the government struggled to contain them. At first, the protests were about the economy. But as more people joined, the issues grew deeper. They were questioning leadership, they were questioning power. Iran's leadership watched the unrest with alarm. Security forces were dispatched. Internet access was cut off. Communications slowed, at times nearly stopped entirely. Then, in a move that surprised many, the top prosecutor publicly warned that those participating in the protests could be charged with muharabeh, waging war against God. Under this legal code, the charge holds the gravest penalties possible, including death. And to those on the streets, the warning was chilling. This is not abstract law. This is real life. According to human rights groups, the death toll from the protests has risen into the thousands. Some reports suggest that over 2,000 people, including civilians and security personnel, have lost their lives. Thousands more have been arrested. Families wait in silence for news. Friends fear the phone will ring with the worst possible word. This is the human story behind each headline. With the internet restricted, images and voices from Iran have become harder to verify. Videos shared before the cutoffs showed cities alive with protest, then clouded with smoke, with sirens and shouts. The blackout is not just a communications tactic. It is a way of controlling the narrative. Without pictures or messages, the world hears less and wonders more. As the situation escalated, governments around the world took note. European nations summoned Iranian ambassadors to express concern over the crackdown. Sanctions were discussed. Statements of support for human rights were issued. But among all global reactions, none drew as much attention as one from the United States. On social media, U.S. President Donald Trump posted a direct message to the people of Iran. Iranian patriots, keep protesting. Take over your institutions. Help is on its way, he wrote. He also announced he had cancelled all meetings with Iranian officials until the violence against protesters ceases. No further details were given about what help might mean, but the message was clear. The United States is watching and signaling support, a new kind of support. Mr. Trump's comments touched off strong reactions around the world. In some capitals, leaders praised the show of solidarity with civilians risking their lives on the streets. In others, commentators warned that outside involvement could complicate matters, making the government stronger in its resolve, framing the protests as a foreign-driven plot against national sovereignty. Iran's leadership has already accused external powers of encouraging unrest, a narrative that resonates with some within the country. Economic weapons too. The US response has not been limited to messages. Tariffs have been announced on nations that trade with Iran, raising the cost of commerce and adding pressure to an already strained economy. At the same time, diplomatic meetings have been called off. And military options remain on the table, though neither side has yet taken that step. Protesters, government, world. Inside Iran, people continue to weigh their choices every day. Some believe the current wave of protest could reshape the nation's future. Others fear further bloodshed. The government insists it remains in control, even as large pro-government rallies are held to show support for the state. Abroad, leaders are divided between supporting human rights and cautioning against direct intervention. This crisis raises difficult questions. How should the world react when a population rises against its own leadership? What is the right balance between support and interference? And what happens when internal protest meets global geopolitics? Those questions have no simple answers. Iran is at a crossroads. The costs are already high. The stakes are already immense. And the world is paying attention. We will return with new developments, including how world leaders are responding, the evolving situation inside Iran, and whether this moment becomes a turning point in the nation's history. Stay with us, because this story is far from over. It could get more interesting. As President Trump sends a powerful message via digital channels, the message specifically called upon Iranian patriots. He emphasized taking over key institutions as part of the plan. The cancellation of meetings served as a sharp diplomatic tool. Washington signals its watchfulness over the unfolding events. The promise of help hangs over the conflict. This statement immediately altered the global perception of the crisis.